unicorns, and welcome back to my channel and this video that I am super excited to film, because if you've been on my channel for a while you will know how excited I was for the Flaming Love palette, which was the palette that came before the vintage palette from Makeup Addiction Cosmetics. It was, is bomb.com. Really good palette. I even named it the best palette of 2015, so that says something. And when they showed some sneak peeks on their Instagram about the new palette, this vintage palette, I was literally like, there's a new palette? I wanted a palette badly, so pretty much the second it was live I got it, because I was so excited. And even though I might like the color scheme of the Flaming Love palette more than the color scheme of the vintage palette, I have discovered when I've been looking a bit at them that they actually complement each other a lot, and I will talk about that a bit more further in the video. But let me show you what the palette looks like. This is Makeup Addiction. No, it is not. This is Makeup Addiction Cosmetics vintage palette. Comes in a little sleeve like this. And just like the Flaming Love palette, it has this really sleek and, well, good quality cardboard packaging. And look at how sleek this is. And the Flaming Love palette had a silvery grey packaging, and this has more of a black one, but it has the same like tapestry thing going on in the pattern. And on the back side you can see the names of the colors, and on the inside it looks the same as the other palette. It has a mirror, which is pretty nice, and the colors look like this. This is a really pretty palette, and I'll be honest, this actually, like, the color scheme of it reminds me a bit of the Sweet Peach palette. It has this a bit purpley color here, and this really peachy color here, and a light peach here, and that warm orangey thing. But I actually like this color selection more than the one in the peach palette, because this is more muted and more rich and jewel tone, which is more my kind. And I love that they have made this palette so it can be combined with the other palette, because like the other palette you can take the pans out. This one is called Cranberry Crush. You can take them out, you can put them in your C palette, or you can put them, like, you can combine the two palettes and just pick your favorites if you're going traveling or something, because this is really sturdy, so I would definitely take this traveling. I think it's really nice. And like I said, I like the idea that they combine so the palettes actually work with each other, so they're not any color dupes or anything like that. These are totally different colors than the other ones, and I will show you that later on. But these are the 8 colors, and the pans are really big. I will show you. This is like a regular pan. You can see that the pans in this one is really big. Actually, I think that this is the pan size of the Makeup Forever Pro Shadows. I think this is the same size as those, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to show you some swatches so you can see how the shadows perform, and then you will compare it to the Flaming Love palette. The first shadow is called Custard Cream. Yes, Custard Cream, and this is a matte transition color or a brow bone highlight or inner corner highlight, depending on your shade. This is actually a bit too dark for me to use as a highlight, so this will be more of a transition color for me, because, well, I'm just too pale to use this as a highlight, but it is a really creamy and velvety feeling shadow. The next one is called Dirty Brown, and actually that is a really good color for that. It looks a bit like a dirty brown. It's like that mustardy, browny. It's a really good crease color, and that's what it looks like. I used this in my crease today, and then I had this one over, which is Amber, and this is like a muted clay orange, and it is a really pretty color. Perfect for summer, that warm orangey, burnt orangey color. It's really pretty. Next color is Cocoa Lace, and this is it's like a brown, like a cocoa brown with some gold specks throughout it. It's really interesting. I don't have a color like this before, so I actually think this is quite cool. And what is cool with it is that the gold flecks actually do transfer. Sometimes when you have glittery shadows, you're like, these glitter particles are gonna end up everywhere except my eye. You're gonna find them on your cheeks, on your food, on your man, on your dog. It's not gonna be on your eye, but you're pretty much gonna find them everywhere else like a week after you wore it, but this actually transferred in the swatch, so I mean that's a good sign, I guess. The next one is called Persian Rose, and it is this like, it is like a warm peach with a gold shift, and this is one of the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics metallics, and they feel amazing. They have the same structure as the metallics did in the Flaming Love palette, so these are really good. And if you're on my Snapchat, you would have seen me swatch a couple of these colors before, so you would have known that I really like these. This is the color that I have on my lid. It is really pretty. Look at how cool that is. I mean, how cool is the color? Oh, so cool. Next one is the one I showed you before. It's Cranberry Crush. Oh, this is so pretty. But this is like a chocolate metallic brown with a kind of a red undertone. So even though it's called Cranberry Crush, it is like a red brown metallic. It is super pretty. This is going to be so pretty with like a smoky eye, and just brush this into your crease and all over the lid for when you have a tan. So pretty. Next color is called Velvet Bronze, and it is like an antique bronze because it has a bit of a green shift, and this is actually the smoothest color in the palette. I could continue this swatch forever. It is so pretty. It's like a bronzy metallic, but it has a bit of a green undertone, which is really interesting. I mean, it's not green, but it's not bronze either. It's somewhere in between. It's really cool. And the last color is called Moonberry. It's quite a fitting name. It's like a, what do I want to call it? It's like a disco black. It's a really dark base with lots of purple and gold shimmers in it. Super cool color and really dark. I bet this would be a kick-ass like smoky eye. And the same here, the glitter actually transfers, so you actually have the glitter here as well. So that is like a good sign if you like shadows with glitter, because you will get glitter on your eyes as well and not just on your brush and your cheeks and your man. Yeah, you know. So these are the colors that is in the vintage palette. My favorite is definitely this one because I'm drawn to color. It's just crazy. And I also love this one so much. It's such an interesting color and I cannot wait to wear this like all over my eye. Super pretty. I like the other ones as well, and I really like that this one is a bit more orange because I really love an orange crease. And that's also really pretty if you want to have like a colorful lid. It's really pretty to have a muted orange in the crease. It kind of balances it out. Jesus. Now let me show you how the Flaming Love palette look. This is well loved. So these are the two palettes next to each other. Maybe now you can see that there's not any dupes within these colors, and there's actually some color combos that can be made here. I will insert some pictures in the end, it's a fluff flying around, where I show you some combos that you can make with color selections from both of these palettes if you have both and you want to make some color combo. So I will include some pictures in the end that you can screen save if you want to get some ideas for color combos if you do own both of these palettes. I bought this palette on pre-sale, but the palette is live now. I think it is £28, which is a bit over $30, I think. But this is a lot of product and it's of really good quality, and I really just genuinely like the idea that they have behind their palettes. I love the color selection, I love the quality, I love the packaging. I love that you can take these out and make your own palettes, and it's also really easy for them because then they can sell some singles in the future if they want to. I mean, it is really well thought through, and I like this palette. I wouldn't say as much as the Flaming Love palettes, but that's only because I love color so much. But this is like really up there, and the quality is just as good as the Flaming Love palette, so I really highly recommend this. And if you love neutrals and you love warm neutrals and you want to get some really high quality shadows that perform really good and that has a bit of a warmth and a pop of color, I do recommend this palette. I really do. That's my 2 cents about that. Cardboard packaging isn't that like satisfying with the snap. It's like I I will link where you can buy the palette down below. I did buy the palette myself with my own money, and I'm not sponsored in any way to do this video. I just really love this palette, and I really love the brand. And am I having eyeshadow all over my boobs again? I am. Why? Why do I do that? Before we go, let's talk about some similar colors between this palette and some colors that I already have, so you can see if there's any similarities, and maybe you have some of the colors I'm going to show you as well, just so you know where this palette stands in with like dupes or similar colors. I just wanted to show you some colors that are a bit similar within my collection, just so you get like, maybe you already have some of these colors, and also maybe you can get a feel for like how these colors actually look in real life, because sometimes like the lighting and the colors in a YouTube video can be a bit deceiving. So I wanted to show you some similar colors within my collection so you get a hang of what the palette actually looks like. This is Makeup Geek's Peach Smoothie. You might think that this is similar to this color, but Peach Smoothie is actually a lot warmer and a lot darker. I hope that comes off here. I will swatch them next to each other as well so you can see. Here's that color, and here's Peach Smoothie. Peach Smoothie is more pigmented and it's darker, but Peach Smoothie also has a lot of kick up and fallout, so they're pretty similar, but they're not dupes. Next color is this one here. This is Makeup Geek's Preppy. They are pretty similar, but this one is a bit more yellow and Preppy has a bit more of an olive undertone, but I will swatch them next to each other so you can see if they're similar or not. Here was this color. And actually they are pretty similar, but this one has a bit more of a browny olivey undertone and this is a bit more yellow. Actually I've seen a lot of colors of the MAC's Uninterrupted, is that what it's called? Uninterrupted. And I feel like this is a dupe for that one. I could be wrong, but according to like the pictures I've seen and the swatches I've seen, I think this one is quite the dupe for that one. Next color I want to show you is Morocco by Makeup Geek, and as you can see, Morocco by Makeup Geek is a lot more bright and red. So these are not dupes at all, but maybe you thought that this does look like Morocco, but it doesn't, and I'll swatch them so you can see. Let's see if I can maybe put that here. As you can see, these two are not similar at all. This is much brighter and more red, and this is more muted and more of a clay orangey, and this is more like in your face bright orange. I actually said on Snapchat that I don't have anything similar to this in my collection, but I actually found something that is quite similar, and this is Phoenix Sun by Coastal Scents. This does not have a shift like this one has, but in the pan they look pretty similar, and I will show you how they look swatched next to each other. As you can see, this is more peachy and Phoenix Sun is just a straight up orange metallic, which is super cool as well. But they are not alike. This is more of a papaya, peach, gold, corally shade, and this is straight up orange metallic, which is cool too, but they are not dupes. Another color that looks really similar in the pan is this one here, the Cranberry Crush, and Coral Pink by Coastal Scents, but they weren't actually dupes either, but they were like the closest I had in my collection. But let's see if I can put it here. This one is much more red and this is more burgundy brown, and as you can see this is like brighter. So I hope you can see that they're not dupes. I really like this color. I'm so happy this was in the palette. I actually think that I might end up liking this one the most of the whole palette once I use this palette more than once, so to speak. But no dupes here either. And the last color I wanted to show you are these two. This is Kodiak by Coastal Scents. It was the closest one to this one because it had a bit of a green shift as well. But this is more green than the other one. The other one, Velvet Bronze, is more bronze and this is more green. So let me show you how that one looks. I hope you can see that in the pan they look a bit similar, but swatched they're nothing alike. This is so much more bronzy olivey and this is just a forest green. So I think that was it for this time. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you do not miss what videos that are coming up after this one. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to stay to the end to see the videos of the color suggestions, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!